بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is our program, Spirit of Values, and this is Dr. Tariq Rashid. Still, we are in the value of happiness, transferred into a set of an action plan. We mentioned previously the resources, the concept, and the model. To remind you of the model, it's TLP FMA. Think, learn, plan, market, and we need finance and action planning. Let's see now the three C's that we need in order to make sure that we are proceeding in the right direction. The first is consultation. We have to consult, especially experts. If I'm just new in the market, if I just don't know how to proceed, make consultation. The second, sometimes we need coaching, and you can get back to one of our episodes about the coaching skills in leadership. The third C is change. Always the market is changing. So sometimes we have to update our ideas and to proceed with a different new channels sometimes. So the third C is change. And always they said that change is the only constant factor in life. Everything is changing, and change is the key for success. Manage change, start thinking of the value of change in order we can proceed and achieve. So change is actually the key to proceed. What are the secrets of success? Let's start thinking of another model called TEFCAS. What is TEFCAS, model of success? I just want to ensure that without failure, we'll never achieve success. So the model of success, we start with trial. You start a project, an idea with trial. The trial will help you to get an event. Event is transferring the idea into an actual, so the event. The event will give you feedback. This feedback will help you to check. Are you proceeding? Are you achieving? Then, if not, we have to adjust. And we'll get back to another trial. Event, feedback, check. Maybe we need to readjust. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the electric bulb, 1,000 trial. And he wrote that I tried 99 trial. From each one, I learned something to reach success. For sure, after you adjust, then you will reach success. So again, it is impossible to think that life is a straight line from A to B. If you think that life is a straight line, for sure you are mistaken. Life is actually like this. You try, you find a gap, you bridge the gap, you try another trial, until for sure at the end, I assure you, you will reach success. But be patient, accept failure, appreciate even failure, and proceed. This is the model of success that we need to apply in our lives in order to transfer a new idea into an action plan. Ask all people who succeeded in life. You will find from failure, they reach success. And all of them, they apply the model of success, TEFCAS. One of the biggest organizations in the US, they have a slogan, let us welcome our failure. Because they think without failure, we will never have proceeded in the market and get a good brand. So don't let fear of failure from preventing you to proceed. So let's go to the innovation value to achieve success. So innovation is another value that will help reaching the highest value of happiness. Again, innovation is the output. Creativity is the process. There are the eyes of innovation. It's a vision for wealthy creation of new ideas. What are the eyes of innovation? Idea, infrastructure, implementation. And we mentioned that if you combine all of these together, for sure you will reach success and you transfer happiness from just imagination and dreams into an action plan and results. The idea. The individual who you are the individual that you will bring the idea, but use your talent. I assure you, using your talent, using the different types of thinking, this is the first. But collect information. Don't start unless you collect information about the idea. This is again to relate with the model, think, learn. Collect the information, then think of imagination. If you let your minds fly, it will help you to reach the sky. Imagination. And always charge your dream with inspiration. By this, we can actually transfer the first I of innovation, the idea, into an acceptable task and result. And there is always in the market what we call intellectual properties, and in order to have some sort of rights for your new idea. This is the first I of innovation. Creativity percentages depends on a study. Number of children taken in this study were 1,600. They found the following. The rate of innovation at the childhood is highest than at other ages. Why? They found that once you reach 20 and become mature, you will become less creative because you have already formulas in your mind. And they find also, as you get higher in education, you lower your creativity because you start thinking patterny, research, my information, my experience. So let's even try to think as a child. There is a tool called Think as a Child. When you think as a child, you will allow your mind to explore different issues. So these are the diffusion of the innovation, knowledge. And knowledge is actually the collection of information with a practical application. I'll be knowledgeable. Persuasion. Persuasion means I have to think of people that may help me that to proceed, and then we take the decision and go for implementation, and we check always this model to make sure that we are proceeding in the right direction. But always they found resistance to new ideas. Most people resist change. Most people resist new ideas. And they found that only 2 to 2.5% of people are the innovators in the whole world. The early adapters, maybe 13.5 according to research, the early adapters of an idea. Then the majority, which is 34%, comes the early majority of people to accept a new idea. Then the late majority is approximately equal also to 34, and there is always the laggards who resist change and will move at the end 16%. This is to ensure the following. Your new idea may be not accepted by others, but insist, be patient, continue, be always thinking of the model. I will try, take an event, feedback, check, adjust. I assure you, then you will proceed in this. But you will find people who may resist your new idea. For the infrastructure, we need a good interference. We need also to have what we call an investment, because we need the infrastructure represent actually the physical infrastructure and the managerial infrastructure. Managerial infrastructure, policies, processes, strategies, etc., incubators to actually transfer my idea into an action. We need incubators, and we choose the industry that I need. For example, if you are an engineer, you are in the engineering. Your idea in management, you are in managerial aspects, and so on. This is the second I of success for innovation is the infrastructure, and we need to make research and development. R&D is a science to collect. Innovation at the end is an art. Art of transferring knowledge into skills and getting an action plan that will help us to move. Fields of competency. We have lots of competencies. we have to apply the research, technical studies, according to the concept that I'm using and trying to achieve. Consultation is needed, and sometimes specialized technology-based training. If you feel that you lack the knowledge and skills, take training. Training will help you to qualify yourself, then you move in the market accordingly. And finally, implementation is an action plan. We start with what we call an indication, also study the whole concept of the implementation phase, then start implementing and have incentives for your team to make sure that you reach success. And we have what we call the ocean of seas. Lots of seas surround all people. What are the ocean of seas? Challenges. We have to consider that we live in a world of challenges. Lots of challenges now. Digitalizing, technology, lots of crises all over the world. We have to consider that without challenges we cannot move. Challenges may create crises, and usually problems, if not solved, will transfer into risk. Risk, if not taken into consideration and managing, it will be a crisis. But here again, change is a must. Change, the value of change is very important. Transfer any crisis into opportunity, test the change concept, then use creativity to transfer the idea into a new idea, think out of the box to create change, and you have to coordinate. We have to coordinate with a team. You cannot move alone by yourself in life. We have to have a team, and you can get back to one of our episodes about the value of team spirit. So coordinate with the team, manage the task, and collaborate. Sometimes you need external strategic stakeholders. You may need some institutions to follow with. So collaboration, coordination, creativity will help you to change and even get an opportunity from crisis. This is the challenge in life. Then we have to apply communication. Whenever you get an idea, an action plan, then communicate. One of our episodes again go for the value of communication, the importance of communication. They found in research that 75% of problems in ideas and in organizations are due to miscommunication or lack of communication. Make sure to use the model of communication to transfer your idea through channels to others in order to go and proceed. So these are what we call the ocean of seas. We live in this life with all these seas. If you want to resist change, you will never proceed, you will stop, and challenges will prevent you from achieving success. So this is the concept of the value of happiness, how to transfer it into an action plan. Don't just wait. Let's proceed with life. Let's go with these challenges and try to think differently. And also we have what we call the values of culture. To remind you, the value of happiness, the fourth circle is values. Define your values. The value could be driven from the society you live in, could be driven from religion, from humanity. So always start from circle number 4, which is values and principles. Apply all these in your concept of life, you will achieve success for sure. But make consultation. Sometimes you need a coach to help you to get to this idea and implement it. So all of these will actually help us to proceed. So at the end of the value of happiness, what we mentioned is start with the model of happiness, apply the model of think, learn, plan. What finance do I need? Market, then an action plan. Then proceed, and don't forget this is the model of success. We have to try. We have to have new ideas, try it. Get an event, feedback, check, and remember the C's to consider in order to proceed. This is what we presented for the value of happiness. Wish all of you the happiness, and wish all of you that you will reach a concept of transferring your happiness into an action plan. And remember always for an action plan to set the 7 questions. The 7 questions to transfer an idea into an action plan are what, why, where, when, who, how, and how much. Any idea could be transferred in an action plan and reach success if you consider the 7 questions. What will help you to define exactly the scope of your idea and project? So the what will help defining the scope. What is the scope of my idea? How can I really understand the scope? Gather information. Then be specific about goals and objectives. So the why will help you to get the picture. What is the main goal of this idea? Translate the goal into set of objectives. Set of objectives. This objective, 1, 2, 3, will satisfy the goal of my idea. The where is the location. Where would you apply this idea? We are in an international market. We are in a globalized open market. And now lots of projects are using technology, virtual reality, etc. So you think of the globe in order to think of where to apply. Sometimes maybe you want to apply in a certain market. Fine, define where. And the most important question, you have to make schedule. Time, how much do I need? Time to implement. And the who, we have 3 questions. Who is responsible? Who's affecting your ideas? Who's affected by your idea? And what are the action plan that we mentioned in this episode? And define your resources. To remind you, your resources are the 4 M's, 3 E's, 2 T's, and 3 T's and 2 I's. This will help us to reach a destination of happiness from mind into an action and result. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.